Hey everybody, I thought I'd give you a quick look at what I'm working on here. It's an IPFS to dynamic NFT image creation tool. So what you're seeing here is the dev version of my new file management system. Now there'll be a link off WAXWORKS. I'm thinking that this is probably going to be a member benefit for anyone that chooses to join my WAXWORKS Patreon, since it does actually cost me a little bit to host and serve files. So without any further ado, it's a jobs-based system. So what that means is that, let's say that I just finished making a set of NFT images that are part of my collection. I'm going to upload them all at once, and I'm going to say, like, say that these are my Rainbow Goons. I'm putting in a job name Rainbow Goons. I'm going to say it's from my Goo Goons collection. This list of collections is actually loaded dynamically from the blockchain. So this is all of the collections of which you're the owner. It's easier to just show you this and then explain it. So let's say that I'm going through my set of artwork and I'm going to find all the rainbow themed Goo Goons. I'd select them. You can see you get a little preview. It tells you how big they are, and they've all kind of done a pre-upload process. So if I'm happy with this job, I hit the upload button. Now you're probably thinking, well, why would I be doing all this? It's an IPFS replacement. So all of these files are getting uploaded directly to IPFS. It takes a minute to load. I'm going to try to add a loading screen at some point. And now we're in the back-end view where I can see my IPFS content IDs, which I can copy to the clipboard. I can see the size of my files. This is all this Rainbow Goons job, so I can see the theme for my particular upload. If I want to see the details of the file upload, this shows me all the files that got transferred, and they have a unique identifier on them in case anyone ever uploads files with the same name. The details section actually shows you even more about the job in particular. Okay, so I can confirm that these files worked by clicking on the path, and you can see it loaded up one of the Rainbow Goons. It's loading it from the file-base IPFS server, so these are actually loading it by IPFS code. If this link works, it means your upload worked. Okay, so this is like most of what Pinata does already. If I click on My Files, you'll see that I now just have a sortable list, and it's paged, of all the files that I've uploaded to IPFS. Now, this is all searchable, so if I wanted to find all my Cosmic Goons, and I hit Cosmic and I hit Enter, you can see that I can now filter them. If I want to only pick up ones that are PNG files, I can search for PNG, and now all my JPEGs aren't showing. Same works for JPEG, I think, and it works for JPEG with an E or without an E. You can change which fields you're searching. You can reset, and you can sort your files by size. So this is sorting from large to small, and it actually does it by the number of bytes, even though the string is shortened. You can sort it by which collections it's in. So these are the collections that I selected when I just started. And you can see that you can change how many rows per page you want to see. I have it set to 10, but you can change it to 25. We also will show statistics. So if you've uploaded your files and you've identified them with their collections, it'll tell you how many items are in each of your collections and how much space you're using up on IPFS for all those items. Since IPFS doesn't allow for duplicate files, it will correctly tell you how much space you're actually consuming on the IPFS server as well. And I plan on kind of giving a fairly generous limit for this, but that's kind of going to be part of the launch plan. Okay, so now we've seen my files, we've seen my jobs. My job shows you all the jobs you've uploaded in the past, what you named it. You can search it. It's just like the other feature. So this lets you kind of stay organized as you're uploading files, and it automatically will prevent you from uploading duplicates to IPFS. Okay, so what do we do with all this, right? Well, beyond the fact that these are now just hosted, and it's doing what Pinata does mostly, we can also select groups of them. So let's say I want to do my rainbow. If I type in that and I select all, you can select them individually just by clicking on the row. And you get some options for groups. I can edit the categories, which will let me reselect the categories that are applied to all of those NFTs. I can delete them, which will give me a confirm dialog. Are you sure you want to delete them? But I don't. Or I can create a dynamic NFT. So right now, I have random and time-based dynamic NFTs. Random means it will serve up every 10 seconds, it will serve up a random one of the set. If I do time-based, it means you can kind of set a schedule for the NFTs. So I'm going to show you random first. Now I'm making a random dynamic NFT. There's a little bit of explanation. Weights, it basically means that it's this many chances out of the total. So let's say that you wanted each of these to have an even chance. They all have 1 right now. If I put a 2 in here, this one would be twice as likely to show up. I can go into more detail when I make a real one of these, but for now I'm just going to show you the next screen. So you can see a little preview of all the images that are in your set, what the IPFS hash code is, and if I save and get the template values, it brings me to a template that I could create on Wax. So if I took this image path, I listed it as a back image, but in my testing it actually works as a front image too. But this particular one won't work since it's localhost, which means it's my computer, but we're on my development copy. But if I took this image and I mint it into an NFT, then this path is going to always throw up a random one of these IPFS hash codes. I can show you in a new tab. If I paste that in, now once 10 seconds go by, we'll get a new one. So it takes a little while. I'll come back to that in a second. This is all the underlying data, which we could put into a field. If we put it into a field, it's going to mean that other markets or other viewers will be able to process the same function and come up with the same result, which is how I think these things could maybe spread. But for now, it's using my server if we load the dynamic image path. We got the same one. So it also lets you look at all of the dynamic NFTs you've ever created. And since they're basically immutable, like this path is permanent, especially if you put it onto an NFT, I'm not allowing these to be edited or deleted. So for now, this is just a record of all the other ones that have ever been created. Try it again. Nope. It must have selected the same one. But it's a pretty, oh wait, I lied. So it replaces the path with the file-based path. So if we want to see that result again, we'd have to click on this image link, and yeah, we got a different random one. I forgot. So that's a good little caveat to be aware of. It actually substitutes in the IPFS link for the image file, which makes it load much faster. So all of these ones that are random will load a random goon every time they're clicked on. And that's the gist of dynamic NFTs. So if I go back to my files, I'll show you the other one, the time-based one. Say we're going to do a rainbow one. I'm just going through kind of fast. And then we go to create dynamic NFT. And we go to time-based, and we go to the editor. The way this one works is you can put these NFTs on a schedule. So it shows you the current UTC hour and the current UTC minute. This is just a different way of representing time. It's Greenwich Mean Time. So it's 4 o'clock p.m. here. That means that if I wanted something to do 4 hours ago, which is noon, I would subtract 4. So I would put in 16. So that would make this image start at noon. Then if I put in 18, this image would start at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. This image would start at 4 p.m. This image would start at 11. No, this is 4. This would start at 7 p.m. And then they loop around, right? So then this would start at whatever 6 Greenwich Mean Time is. And I've set it up where you can reorder these, so if this doesn't make sense and you really wanted that to be the first one, you can move it up. You can also, if you wanted to have the same image repeat multiple times a day, you can clone them. And if you made a mistake, you can delete the clones. So if you want to start over, you actually, if you decide, oh, I want to add another image here that's not already here, you go back to your file list and you start over. That's because these things, like I said, they're immutable. So if we get a wax template with this one, it works just like the other dynamic NFT where we get an image path. If we paste it in there, this is the image that we're getting for whatever time of day it correlates to. And you can see that in the data here, it's got the number of minutes in the day where these things all start. And they're sorted, and anyone could implement this clock and display. You know, you could use it to make an analog clock NFT. You could have it switch the image out so someone in their wallet would see a little clock that actually functions. You can add a lot more images than what I have here. You could show a character going about their day. I mean, there's any number of things you could do with these. So I just wanted to show everybody what I've been working on. It's not quite ready for the public yet, but it's very close, as you can see. Everything is working. Oh, but my token expired. So when that happens, you reload and you get a new token. Okay, so no big deal, right? So yeah, that's how this is. There's a lot of quality of life things I still need to do, but I hope you all be as excited about this as I am. It's going to unlock a lot of new types of NFTs. I already have some other models, other kinds of behaviors planned, so stay tuned.